Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contract, service is month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show.
Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Angela Marshall on the line, and she's founder and creative writing consultant over at In Other Words by Stone. Angela, welcome to the show.
Hey, Adam. Thank you for having me.
All right, so I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to get into one of your specialties, which is going from a former NFL wife to entrepreneur life. But before we get into that, I do want to give the audience a little bit more of your background on what you're doing over at In Other Words by Stone. So tell us a little bit more about your company and what you do, please.
Absolutely. Again, thank you for having me. Our mission is simply stated that we positively impact and influence people through our words, work, and wisdom. So to sum it up, it's just about helping people to be better as they know better and also helping them to do better and to grow.
That's awesome. And at the end of this, Angela, I'm going to give you the opportunity to leave your website or contact information or wherever you would like people to follow up with you at. But I do want to make sure that the right types of individuals and or organizations connect what's typically a good type of client and or fit to work with you and your team?
So we have 3 tiers. 1, I am a motivational, inspirational presenter. And from my platform, The Story and Life of an Ex-NFL Wife, that is just me simply giving life experiences and helping people to live vicariously through themselves and to follow some of the actionable steps that I took to get off of the sideline and get in the game of life. I am also a creative content writer, and that's just helping people put together packages, whether they are trying to do their own books, they are, trying to take their documentation to another level as far as grammatically, making sure that their words pop. So those are just 2 of the hats that we wear over at In Other Words by Stone.
Man, that's awesome. And I think that sets the stage for the overall topic. So first off, I love the overall theme. So meaning what we're talking really here is transition. In your case, you're talking about, going from former NFL wife to an entrepreneur, but there's a lot of people facing transitions, whether that's from employer to employer, whether it's relationship. I mean, there's so many different transitions in life, like nothing's static. So I think it's a great topic. Where do you want to start this one? This is a big one.
Well, let's just say this. Let's just kind of piggyback off of the topic of your podcast for why mission matters. And to me, mission matters because you must decide your why to deal with the what and be determined to get through the how, which keeps you energized and, just fulfilled to reach your where in life. So just being able to have a reason to do what you do each and every day, which mine actually came through my book, which is The Story and Life of an Ex-NFL Wife. And I actually had no aspirations to become a speaker of any sort or to, go public from that standpoint with my life. But because of just the impact from people reading the book, and I gave them a different perspective of how my life actually was as opposed to, me being stereotyped for so long. And it just opened up the door for me to go from former NFL wife to entrepreneur life, and that's how I started my company.
Man, what a great story. And I love when that happens. And it's really interesting because it says a lot about the person. So meaning to put yourself out there and then to take it a step further. So it's hard enough to get the book done. So congratulations on that, of course. That's not an easy task to get your work out there. And then not just the editing and that kind of stuff. That, that can be done. But just the emotional side of like getting your story out there and sharing, like that's not an easy thing to be able to do that and to let other people read it and, pass their judgments or have their commentary. Like once you put yourself out there, you're out there. And then for you to go and take it further based on the feedback, like it takes a lot of guts to do that. And it's funny because I always tell people all the time because they sometimes look at some of the things we do and I'm like, this wasn't my plan. I just kept on saying okay when people wanted other things. And I'm like, you think I want to know what's a podcast? You think I didn't want to do any of this stuff. I was in my little cozy financial advisor world. I didn't know I was going to be a media guy. And then I look back years later and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? It's funny.
Absolutely. It is, like you said, it's the irony of where we think we are going in life and then where we actually end up. It can be very, very comical. For me, I just really I really want to help people to live vicariously through themselves, through the eyes of others, because that's pretty much what this world is, our society is based on. It's look at me, look at other people and kind of compare yourself or envy them or make yourself feel worse, just by looking at somebody else's life. And I know it's been done before me. It's been said before me. It'll be said after me. But, making comparisons to your life against others, we all have issues. We have certain things that we go through from time to time. And my life was no different. And I just got really, really tired and got really fed up one day. I penned it. I put it all, in a journal, and I gave it to my publisher and was like, here, put it out there in black and white. I'm good with it. And other offers and other opportunities just presented itself. And I'm just walking in that and enjoying that as well.
That's awesome. And so, I like to give and I know there's only so much we can do in a 15-minute podcast episode, but I like to give my audience maybe a little tool from your toolkit. So when I say I like to give, I like you to give them, just to be clear. And again, there's always so much we can do here, but I'm a low-hanging fruit guy. So I'm like, you went through some major transitions, different things. You've gone, you've obviously been successful, not necessarily rebranding, but packaging, like everything that you've done and, using your story to benefit others. There's some other people out there that are in that same thought. Like they have a story they want to get out there. They want to help. They want to share. They have that inside of them, just like you do. And a lot of creators out there do. I mean, what's some of that low hanging fruit that they should start thinking about or start working on like today? Like something that gets through the excuses, that gets through the this, the fear, all these other things. And maybe excuse is a bad word, but something that whatever's stopping their momentum, right? Like whatever, like to remove that block. Like what's a simple little thing that they can start thinking of now?
Well, I like to call it the 4 Ds. That's decide, deal, determination, and then ultimately destination. So deciding is just what it is. You just have to make a decision that instead of me talking about writing a book, I'm going to write a book next year or 10 years from now, you just have to do it. And you have to be committed to it. And then you have to deal with all of the excuses that come along with it and press forward or press ahead of everything that life is going to throw at you that's going to make you say, well, I'll do this one day, or when I turn 50 or turn 60 or the children get out the house. You just have to make everything about now as opposed to, looking on down the road. So that's dealing with a lot of stuff that's going to try to hinder you from what you want to do in life. And determination, it's the same thing. It's just about making sure that you are putting the pedal to the metal and you are going full speed ahead. You're not stopping no matter what. Little blips in life come up, hurdles, obstacles come up, but you turn those obstacles into opportunities. And that's very important. So you got to decide, you got to deal, you got to be determined, and then ultimately that leads you to your destination, which is you want to be a writer, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, or a better parent or a singer or whatever the case is. But all of it leads back to you must decide your why. When you can decide your why, and really, really get focused, laser focused with that, nothing will be able to deter you from obtaining that goal.
Man, that's exciting. I love it. So, Angela, first off, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today. So, my honor, and I'm loving it, and I love the idea of the book and everything else that you put out. So, I want to leave my audience with some ways to follow up and some ways to get more of your work. So, first, obviously, leave the book title again, and let people know where they can pick that up. And then also, if somebody wants to learn more about your services and how they can connect and work with you and your team, I mean, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Absolutely. Thank you again for having me. My website is www.inotherswordsbystone.com. I'm also on every social media platform under Angela Marshall. The book is The Story and Life of an Ex-NFL Wife, and I'm always looking for opportunities to connect and support, others that want to live vicariously through themselves.
I love it. Living vicariously through yourself. I'm in. Well, Angela, thanks again for coming on the show. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave some comments on the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Angela, thanks again for coming on the show.
Yay, thank you.